Okay, there are some few things which I would like to tell you about the table. Something related to your dimension, and suppose you go to this table out here, data source. We will talk about this first, and I'll also talk about some relationship between some multiple tables. So for that, I'll be taking some other file today. Okay, it's a smaller file, and that's why I have introduced that. Now, looking at this table here, when we let us open that file. So if I have to go to Excel, what happens? So, okay, so sample stock. Okay, so this is if you open this file in Excel, you will find this data here. Okay, you will find this values. You can see this row ID, order ID. Now, row ID is even though it is numerical value. Okay, if you look at the other two tables, there are other two sheets also. These are very small ones. Okay, you have people and you have returns. Okay, the major one is the orders table. Okay, now if you come to Tableau back, okay, and you go to this sheet one. Let us go to sheet one now. Okay, now here you can see this. This is my orders table here, and we also have the returns table. There are some extra fields which has got inserted. Okay, the first one you can see this returns count. Okay, which is not available in your Excel file. So if you check your Excel file, you don't have this field at all. Okay, so the last field is the profit field. Okay. Secondly, you can see this. It has been written here orders. Orders into bracket count. Okay, even this one is not available in your Excel file. So these are the automatically generated file fields, you can say, and which is done by Tableau on its own. So this gives me the total number of records, the orders record, total record. Similarly, you'll find that we have this returns count here into bracket count. Okay, this will give me the total number of records in this particular table. Okay, and in this case, it's a sheet. Okay, so how many records are there? Total records. For this, a variable gets created. Okay, and it's a numerical value, and it's a measure value, you can say. Okay, basically, when you look at the table, when you get connected to a particular table, along with that, there are some extra fields that get generated in Tableau. Okay, you might have noticed that. So these are some of them. Plus, you also have some generated fields like latitude and longitude. Okay. Now, what are these fields? These are fields based on your you know columns like region. Then you have this postal code. Okay, the region value or the country is there somewhere. We have the country. Okay, the customer values. So all the fields which is having this globe sign. Okay, we have this state here. Okay, so for all this, city is there. Okay, so city, country, postal code, and state. Okay, now for this, Tableau automatically creates the latitude and the longitude field. So it is generated fields, you can see. And here you can see that it has the you can say the icon also, the dimension, geographic dimension. And this will be useful, especially when we start using the maps. Okay, so if I have to present this country on a map chart, in that case, it will be used. Okay, so that it can properly highlight the countries and the proper locations. Fine. Now, secondly, if you look at this whole sheet here, okay, there is a line in between here. This is differentiating between the dimension fields and the measure fields here. Okay, these are your values which can be displayed like your profit, your quantity, your sales. Okay, these are your values which will be displayed, and we have been using it. So this line differentiates it. Now, if you look at this values, all these values are having a hash sign in front of it. Okay, that indicates these are the values here. Fine. Now, what about this one? You have row ID, which is in dimension, okay, which is automatically been placed in dimension, even though it is a numerical value. Why like this? Anyone? Yes, guys.
Because sir,
What is the reason?
some
Yeah.
ID, sir, some ID contain numbers also.
Yeah.
Major part of the ID contain numbers.
Fine, fine. See, you can see this sign also, no? Hash sign. That means it is containing numbers. But my question is, why it is placed in dimension and not in measures here below? It is this line, this line is there, as I said. This is dividing it between the two groups, dimension and measures. Fine. Even this is numbers, and I showed you that in the Excel file as well. You can see this numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but it has been placed under dimension. Why? Any specific reason for this? Now, tell me one thing. If I add the row ID 1 plus the row ID 2, so 1 plus 2, 3 plus so many IDs, if I keep on adding them up, is it going to give me some information? Is it going to give me some, a value which will give me some insight into it? An ID is just, you can say, a number in this case to identify that particular row, nothing else. Whereas these values like discount, your profit, your quantity, if I want to know the total sales value, I have to calculate, I have to add all these values of sales, and the total of sales will give me the answer, what is my total sale. Again, I can divide this into years and so on. That is a different, idea altogether. But when we do some addition or subtraction, some calculations on these fields, it is going to give me some insight, some information. Whereas in case of your row ID, if I'm doing addition, if I want to know how many rows I have, I can simply go to this orders count and guide the total number of records I have. Okay, it is a generated field. But this is, on this field, I cannot perform any calculations. Okay, so Tableau understands that very much. Okay, even though it is a numerical value, it is not a continuous value. Have you heard about this term discrete value and continuous value? Especially in BRM, you might have done this, discrete and continuous. So what is continuous and what is discrete? Tell me whether a row ID is discrete or continuous. Usually, especially when you are representing, it is
in discrete form.
Discrete value, right? Exactly. And the numbers, the discount value, the profit values, these are your continuous values. Okay. And especially you will find that these values are represented using a line chart. Basically when we are drawing a line, having a line chart, what is the use of the line chart? Why we use line charts, guys? Anyone? What we can understand from a line chart?
It shows the trend, whether it is upward for some time or after some time, whether it's downward.
Okay, great. Good one. So first thing, the line chart usually tells you the trend, whether it, depending on whether the movement is upwards or downward. So as soon as you look at the, line, you will get to know the trend is upwards or downwards. So especially those who are into stock market, if you present a chart in line as a line chart, immediately you get to know the trend is up or downwards or sideways. Okay. What is the other reason? Let us consider the stock market itself, So using the line chart, I'll get to know what are my peaks, right? The highs and the lows easily. Okay, that is the other use. Okay, and it is also going to show me some pattern from it. So I'll get to know the pattern of whether it can be a price, it can be the profit or the quantity which is sold, or it can be a stock price. Okay, so based on the requirement and based on what is the purpose, what you want to show, or what you want to display on your screen to the other users, or in your dashboard, might be in your story. Okay, you have to decide which chart selection you're going to do. In many cases, you will find that multiple charts are available here. Okay, but then which one to select depends on what you want to show the user, or what you want to you can say predict, you can say in a way. Okay, or what you want to highlight. Clear? So when you select the chart selection is another you can say a skill. You require a skill to select a type of chart. Basically, Tableau do help you to give you the options in under this show me option here. It do give you the charts which can be used based on your uh, fields from which you select. It will highlight the different types of charts. But even you should be able to select the charts on your own based on the requirement. Clear? Now, let us take an example, especially where we have multiple tables. Now, even though we do have here some, you can see 3 tables here. When we go back to this data source, especially here we have orders, we have returns, and we have people. These are the 3 tables, and we can work on this as well. But I want to take another example and show you small things again today. So I have a convenience store table, which I have, uploaded in your Google Classroom as well. So we are going to make use of that today. So let me close this file first. I'm not going to store anything. Fine, I'll go back and let us get connected to a Excel file. This is my file which I want to get connected to, convenience store. I'll open this file as well to show you how it looks like. Okay, so basically you have this around 5 sheets. So when I go here, I'll close this one. And if I open convenience store. Okay, now before we actually jump into Tableau, I'll try to explain you how relationships are set between different tables. Now, just for an example, now these are my multiple sheets here, and very less records are there right now. So you have this transaction details, here we have the transaction ID, we have the product ID and the quantity which is sold. That means there is something which is linked between transaction ID. So if I go to the transaction table, here we have the transaction ID, the customer ID, and the transaction date. And we also have this product. So this product is going to tell me which product has been sold. Okay. Now, if I have to represent these 3 tables, let us represent these 3 tables in Tableau now. Okay. What I'll do is first I'll pick up the transaction table, drag and drop it here. Okay. Now look at this table here. It has only 3 columns. It has a customer, the transaction ID. It has the product ID and the quantity which is sold, and all are numerical values. Okay. Now there is a relationship between the transaction table, because we have a transaction ID here. So I'll just drag the transaction ID, and even the product ID. You can see this product ID is there, so product also. So let us put the product first. Okay. As soon as I do this, I get this. We have seen this. The relationship is getting established, and it is done automatically by Tableau based on the column names. So identical names, it is going to search for it and decide the relationship. Okay. And we also saw this option here, many to many. There's a many to many relationship which is getting established here. And we have this referential integrity as some records match. Okay. Now we are not going to go here. We have already seen this. So I'm just going to close and keep it default. Let us put the transaction table as well. So I'll get the transaction table. Now again, there is a link between the transaction table and the transaction details, and it is based on the transaction ID. Okay. Now the main purpose of showing you this multiple files is I'll be dragging the other files as well, like the category. So if I have to, drag this category, either I can establish the connection here, or I might go here, it will get established here. I can come here, it will get established here. Okay, there's some connectivity getting established. Okay, if I click it here, let us try here. Okay, and I leave it. Now there's a problem here. Okay, look at the icon. You can see this exclamation mark has come, and you have a dotted line. This indicates that Tableau is not able to identify any, you can say, column on which the relationship can be established. Now, in this case, you need to do it manually. Okay, so you have to decide if there is any, column on which there has to be some relationship. Like for example, this transaction have category. So, but we already have a product ID here. Okay, so if we have a product table which is getting, linked to the product details. That means instead of connecting this category table to the transaction details, I can connect this to the product. So neither we have anything which is common here. You can see this. Okay, both are different. So this is wrong. You cannot do this. What I can do is I can click on this here. Okay, and move this to, say, product. Okay, so what will happen? Now a link gets created. You can see automatically it has established a relationship between the two table, the product table and the category table. Okay, so this shows there's a relationship between the table, product and the category. So one category, multiple products can have the same category. Okay, so this is 1 is to many. So if you look at the relationship here, okay, you can see this. I won't click it. Just place this. You can see right now it is showing that the details is many to many. Okay, but if you look at the table here, which is your product and category. Okay, so you have only unique records. So one category, this might be multiple times available in my product here. Okay, so you can see this. There are 2 records. Okay, there are 2 records of say customer category ID 1. Okay, similarly we have 2 for the ID 2, then 3 and 4. So this is coming twice here. Okay, so basically you will find that the main reason why I am showing you here is sometimes the relationship which is getting established need not be the same what we feel like. This need not be many to many. Okay, your category is 1. So one category, many records. So this will be 1 to many. Okay, so you can have a relationship like this, 1 to many. Fine, close this. This can be done. Okay, so do not totally rely on the relationship which is created by Tableau for you. You have to judge it from the records here. So you have to actually get into the records, look at the fields, understand the data is very important. Understanding the data is very important. What each field is telling you is again very important. In many cases, you'll find that, you'll get databases which is not having the headings also. What are the headers, the column headers and all. Now, suppose you are working in a company and the transaction records are passed to you. Okay, when the transaction records are passed only in numbers without the headings and all, now it becomes difficult for you to understand what each column means. Okay, and to understand the columns, you need to have a metadata. Now, what is a metadata here? Metadata indicates data of data, is nothing but a metadata. Okay, M-E-T-A-D-A-T-A, metadata. Okay, it gives you information about your data. Like in this case, if I do not have this column headings, okay, if I don't have this, it's not going to give me any information. What is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 8? What is this? What are these values and so on? Okay, right? So we need to have some information which is nothing but the column heading in this case. But in many scenarios, you'll find that lots of information are missing when you're getting the data to evaluate. you might get data which is having, which is missing or which is wrong, or which is does not support some, it does not have some metadata with it. So that can be multiple scenarios, and there are different ways of handling all this type of data, okay, which we are going to learn in Python. So when we, in the third semester, when we do Python, especially when we are doing machine learning, okay, that time we'll see how to, address the issues which are based on the data. So all that can be, addressed, and we can rectify it, okay, and clean the data. So data cleaning is another concept which we are going to learn later on. But remember, as I said, whatever relationship is getting set might not be the same which you are thinking. So automatically some data relationship will be set. Now I have changed it to many to one. Okay. So this is your one category, many products. Fine. Whereas one product can have many transactions, and one transaction can have many product details as well. Okay. Both ways. So this is many to many. This is fine. Again, regarding transaction and transaction details, many to many is also fine. Okay. And there's the reason. Actually, one product will have many transactions, and one transaction will have many products. Okay, that should be the relationship between these two tables. So let us look at these two tables first. So we have this transaction table, okay, and we have this product table. So if I have to draw the relationship between the transaction and the, you can say the product table, it'll be many to many. Okay, so I'll just draw it here. Okay, Raki started giving the attendance. Do not give the attendance. Today's session will be very big one. Okay, until and unless you understand this concept, I'm not going to stop today. Fine. Now I'll just draw using a pen here, and I'll try to explain you this, because this is very important. If you understand this, you'll understand many things. Now suppose you have this product table here. Okay, this is my product table. Okay, and this is my transaction table. Now, this is a concept of your database management system. Okay. And there's a relationship between these two tables. So I'm drawing this, there's a relationship, and you have the relationship shown like this, a crow's foot, you can say, a foot. Okay. This indicates many to many relationship. Okay. And this is my product. So I'll put a P here. And this is my transaction table. Please remember, whenever you have a relationship like this, many to many, okay, the database management system tells you that you need to have another table which will have the unique IDs of the product ID. Like we'll have another table here which will be getting created in such scenario. So you have another table here. Okay. Now this table will have the ID from the product. So I'll have PID here. Let us say product ID. So I'll just put P and I here. Please remember this is your product ID. Okay. So this will have one product ID and one transaction ID from here. So like this, there'll be multiple tables. So TI or multiple records, sorry, not tables. Okay. Now, whenever there's two tables having many to many relationship, okay, the rule says that you have to create another table which will have the primary key of the first table, that is your products in this case, and the ID of the transaction table in the third table. Okay, and we can remove this. So there's no relationship. We'll remove this relationship and create a new relationship between this and this. So we'll have one product and multiple transactions detail. And this table is your transaction detail table. So I'll name it as TD. So this is your TD. Okay. So one product, multiple transaction details, one transaction and multiple transaction details. So this is one to many relationship between these two. And now I can get rid of this option here. So I can remove this one. Okay. And there's the reason I do not have the relationship between these two tables here. You can see this. This relationship between these two tables is coming from the transaction details table. And there's the reason I have to change this relationship again. So I'll close this one, come back here. Okay, this is the default relationship. I don't want many to many. I have one product. Okay, I have one product. So this is my product ID. This will be one relationship. Okay, so select this, close it. Similarly, go to this one, change this as well. So I have one from transaction table, I have one record and multiple records in the transaction details. Okay, this is how you can set the relationship. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Yeah. So this is a very important concept, let me tell you, and you have to understand this, because if you do not understand this, you won't be able to, work with the data, because unless you can set proper relationship between multiple tables, you won't be able to, give a proper picture or proper graph cannot be drawn. Okay, let me erase this.
Sir, can you repeat this?
Okay, repeat this. Fine. I'll repeat with a different example. Try to understand the relationship first. Okay, let me close this one. Okay. Now try to understand the relationship between these two tables. Table, product, and transaction. Now let us say you go to a market to buy a product. Either you can buy one product or you can buy multiple products, or the same product in multiple quantities, right? Agreed? That means in your transaction, if you get a slip of transaction, what you have done, that transaction might have multiple products in it, right? Now, when I store this data in my table, in the table form, in my backend, in the backend, it is not that easy. I have to normalize my tables. So there is a concept of normalization, okay, which says that if you have two tables having multiple or many to many relationship, like one transaction can have many tables, many products, and one product can be shown in many transactions, right? So let us say product number one, there are multiple users or consumers who are coming, okay, and they might buy the same product with the same product ID. Okay, so two people coming in and buying the product, the items are physically different because the quantities are different, but their product ID is same. Let us say product ID 1. So I also buy product ID 1, you also buy product ID 1. That means when we talk about the relationship between these two tables, it is many to many. Okay, and whenever you have a many to many relationship, we create a third table to handle this situation. Okay, we create a third table, and in this case, the third table name is given as your transaction details. Okay, so when we do database management system, okay, when we have two master tables and both of them have many to many relationship, then a third table gets generated, which will be the combination of the two masters. Okay, and that's the reason in the masters table, if you look at this masters table here, you have the product ID and you have the transaction ID. Now the combination of these two, so 1 and 3, will be a unique ID. Okay, so composite primary key, you call this as a composite primary key. That means the transaction ID along with the product ID, if we combine that together, it will be a unique value. Okay, it will be a unique value. And that's the reason you'll find that, in some cases, like look at this number, product ID 1 is repeating twice. But in both the cases, the transaction IDs are different. That means this product has been sold to two different people having two different transactions. Okay, so whenever you have a situation where you have, again I'm repeating, where you have two master tables and they have many to many relationship among them, remember a third table gets generated which will have the ID or the primary ID of the first master table and the primary ID of the second master table. Like in this case, we have product ID and the transaction ID, and this will be a part of the third table, this one. And that's the reason we do not link this two. We link this product to the production transaction details and the next one to the transaction details again. Okay, there's no connection between these two. Okay, but there is an indirect connection, and the indirect connection is coming from this transaction details. So if I have to position this here, this side somewhere, it won't go. But if I want to show it, so might be there is a transaction table here. In between, you'll have the transaction details and another link going to the product details. Okay, that is how it will look like. Okay, and because Tableau will always set the relationship as many to many. Okay, so you have to be careful. You need not rely on Tableau to create the connection. Okay, you have to go and change it. Now, like I have done it here, I have changed one product, many transaction details. Okay, that means one product ID can come many times in this details here. You can see that one is coming twice. Okay, it can come many times. Clear? And your transaction also. Okay, your transaction ID, it can appear many times in your transaction details. So one to many again. Okay, that is how we set the relationship. Now, what is the fifth table which we have? We have product category and we have customer. So I'll just drag this because again, whether we have one customer, multiple transaction, one transaction by multiple customers, not possible. Okay, both ways it's not possible. So again, I need to go and change this. So one customer will have multiple transaction, but one transaction cannot have multiple customers. Please remember. So I'll change this to one customer, multiple transaction. Okay, this goes off. Now this completes my relationship now. Okay, so understanding and setting proper relationship between the tables is the most important thing. Okay, once you do this properly, then you can go to the sheet here, and then you can do the dragging and dropping and creating the charts. Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Okay, I
No,
hope
sir.
so. There's no doubt. Okay, now taking this example, let us try to find out. Okay, there are some 4 to 5 questions which I want to address in this example now. Okay, the first question is, suppose I want to show what were my best and the worst selling products. Okay, if I want to show what are my best and the worst selling products. So let us create a sheet here. Okay, the first sheet, which will tell me that. Now for this example, I'll make use of the product ID, the product name, and the quantity which is sold. Okay, the product ID. Now the product ID will come from the main table. The product is the master table. So product ID is going to come from here. So let us put this on the row. Okay, so I'll put it here. The second one is I want to put the product name also. So I want to know the name as well. So I'll get the name from here itself. So now I have the product ID, I have the name. Second, which I want is the quantity which is sold. Now quantity sold will come in some field. Let us check where it is. It is in your transaction details here. Quantity sold. Okay. So you can double click it. You can see this is coming here. Plus you can also drag this and put it in the column here. Okay, the column part, so that it becomes a chart. I don't want it to be a text. I want it to convert that into a chart here. So I'll convert this into a chart. Okay. Now looking at this chart here. Okay, let me hide this one. I'll click here. Okay. Secondly, what I'll do is I'll sort this out. So I want from descending order. So I'll sort this. Okay. As soon as I do this, plus I have another option. Either I can do sorting from here or I can do it from here itself. We have the the option here, to have a title. Let us say standard. Instead of standard, I'll say fit entire view. You can do this entire view to check it in the full sheet. Okay. Now this looks better. Now, if I have to answer the question that which is my best, selling product, immediately I'll get to know water is my best selling product. Okay. Plus below here, I have two null values. You can see this two nulls written here. Okay. If I click on this, okay, I get an option. Special values. If I want, I can show this values, or I can go to filter also. If I do filter, it comes here and it is not going to show me the null values here. But that is not my requirement in this case. In this example, I need to show the null value. So I'm not going to keep a filter. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to stick to this particular chart. Okay. So as soon as I see this chart, okay, I get to know that water is my best selling product and pen and pencil are my worst selling products. Okay, let us rename this sheet. So I'm going to rename this one. Okay, rename this as to best and worst selling product. Okay, that's it. Fine, you can save this. Save your workbook and save this one. So I'm saving this. Let us say this is some session. Let us name this as session 3. Okay, I'm naming this as session 3, but it is not session 3, but just for my convenience, I'll save this. Okay. Now, what if I want to display the values here? Anyone? How do I do it? Can I show the values instead of going to this? If I want to know the values, quantity values, can I show it from here somewhere? From here or from here somewhere? Anyone? Did you all try? Or here? Or can I, just use this quantity sold and